Patriots Nation, the countdown is officially on. In just a matter of days, the entire landscape of the league can shift, and for the New England Patriots, this upcoming free agency period feels bigger than it has in years. There is a sense that something meaningful could happen, that a long-standing issue on this roster might finally be addressed. And interestingly enough, a little help may have arrived from an unexpected place, the Indianapolis Colts. Sometimes in this league, one team's decision quietly opens the door for another franchise to make a move that changes everything. With the legal tampering window about to begin on Monday, front offices across all 32 teams are finalizing their plans. The franchise tag deadline has already passed, and that moment always tells us a lot about how organizations view their own talent. This year, very few teams were willing to commit to the massive financial hit that comes with the franchise tag. The price has climbed so high that many general managers prefer to explore other options rather than lock themselves into a single number. That hesitation created an interesting ripple effect in Indianapolis. The Colts had a complicated decision to make regarding their key players, and ultimately they chose to use the transition tag on Daniel Jones instead of applying the franchise tag elsewhere. By doing that, they secured flexibility at quarterback while leaving one of their most intriguing offensive weapons without immediate protection. That decision could send wide receiver Alec Pierce straight into the open market unless a long-term agreement is reached quickly. And that is where things begin to get fascinating from a Patriots perspective. For weeks, there have been whispers that the Patriots are aggressively evaluating the wide receiver market. This is not speculation pulled from thin air. The need is obvious. Over the past several seasons, the offense has lacked a consistent, explosive presence on the outside. The kind of player who can stretch the field vertically, command double coverage, and force defensive coordinators to rethink their game plan snap after snap. The Patriots are not just looking for another rotational piece. They are searching for a difference maker, someone who can step in and immediately elevate the passing attack. Alec Pierce fits a portion of that description. Since entering the league, he has steadily improved year after year. His rookie campaign showed flashes, but what stands out most is the progression. He developed into a legitimate deep threat, a receiver capable of winning contested catches and attacking defenses downfield. By the time he reached his most recent season, he had crossed the 1,000-yard mark with remarkable efficiency, turning a limited number of receptions into significant production. That type of output naturally increases a player's value in free agency. The intriguing part of this situation is that many around the league did not expect Pierce to become available at all. The assumption was that Indianapolis would find a way to keep him secured before he even sniffed the open market. Now, with uncertainty surrounding his long-term future there, the Patriots have an opportunity to revisit a moment from the past that still lingers in the minds of fans. Back in the 2022 draft, there was a chance to bring Pierce to Foxborough. Instead, the team went in a different direction, selecting another receiver while Pierce came off the board shortly after. In hindsight, that decision has been heavily debated. Draft history has not always been kind to the Patriots when it comes to wide receivers. There have been multiple swings and misses over the years, and each one adds pressure to finally get it right. Free agency can sometimes serve as a second chance. It offers the possibility to correct an earlier evaluation, to admit that perhaps another player would have been the better fit all along. That is part of what makes this storyline compelling. However, talent alone is not the only factor in this equation. The financial side of the deal looms large. Projections suggest that Pierce could command a contract worth roughly $80 million over 4 years. That averages out to about $20 million per season, a serious commitment for any organization. The Patriots have cap space, but every dollar allocated to one player limits flexibility elsewhere. Paying that amount means you are convinced he is not just a good receiver, but a foundational piece of the offense for years to come. There is also the internal roster dynamic to consider. The Patriots already have young receivers developing within the system. One in particular, Kayshon Boutte, mirrors many of the traits that make Pierce appealing. Boutte has shown the ability to stretch the field, track the ball at its highest point, and create explosive plays downfield. When comparing their production at similar stages of their careers, the numbers are surprisingly close. In fact, Boutte's trajectory suggests he could be on a similar growth path, potentially reaching peak performance within the next couple of seasons. This raises a crucial question for the front office. Why invest $20 million annually in a player who resembles a younger, more affordable option already under contract? Bout is still on his rookie deal, earning a fraction of what Pierce would command. If his development continues at the current pace, the Patriots might already possess the deep threat they are searching for. Allocating major resources to duplicate that skill set could limit the team's ability to pursue a more versatile, established star who offers a different dimension. Because ultimately, what this offense may truly need is not just another vertical specialist, but a receiver who consistently commands 8 to 10 targets per game, who can haul an 80 or even 100 catches in a season and serve as the unquestioned centerpiece of the passing attack. Pierce has demonstrated efficiency, but his volume has not yet reached that elite tier. Betting on him to make that leap requires confidence that his best football is still ahead of him. As free agency approaches, these are the calculations unfolding behind closed doors. The Patriots have choices to make, and each one carries long-term implications. Do they seize this unexpected opportunity and attempt to secure Alec Pierce, revisiting a draft decision from years ago? Or do they trust the growth of their current roster and allocate their resources toward a different type of offensive weapon? The clock is ticking toward Monday, and once negotiations begin, the direction of this franchise could shift in a matter of hours. As the market prepares to open, the real debate is not simply about whether Alec Pierce is a talented receiver. The deeper conversation revolves around roster construction, financial discipline, and the identity the New England Patriots want to build moving forward. Free agency is not just about chasing names. It is about fit, timing, and understanding where a team truly stands in its competitive cycle. For a franchise trying to re-establish itself as a contender, every major contract must push the needle in a clear and undeniable way. If Pierce reaches the open market without a last-minute extension in Indianapolis, he will likely draw attention from multiple teams searching for explosiveness. A receiver coming off a 1,000-yard season, averaging strong yards per catch, and showing reliability with minimal drops, does not stay unsigned for long. His efficiency makes him attractive. Defensive backs have to respect his speed. Safeties cannot cheat too aggressively toward the middle of the field when he is lined up outside. That spacing effect alone has value in today's game. Yet when projecting his future production, the Patriots have to ask whether his most recent season represents a new baseline or a peak. There is always risk when paying for career year output. If his numbers stabilize closer to the 800-yard range rather than consistently surpassing 1,000, that $20 million annual salary begins to feel heavy. Championship rosters are often built on surplus value contracts, where performance exceeds cost. Overpaying for expected growth can quickly squeeze flexibility elsewhere on the depth chart. Another layer to this discussion is how Pierce would alter the existing receiver hierarchy. At present, the Patriots' depth chart includes a mix of developing talent and complementary pieces. Demario Douglas has carved out a role as a quick, agile option in the slot. Other rotational players contribute in specific packages, but none have definitively claimed the title of true number one receiver. Pierce could compete for that role immediately, yet the question remains whether he commands defensive game plans in the same way the league's elite wideouts do. This is why some believe the smarter approach may be patience. Rather than committing significant cap space to a player whose profile overlaps with Keyshawn Bout, the Patriots could allow Bout's development to continue uninterrupted. When evaluating both players at age 23, their statistical paths are remarkably comparable. Pierce's early career featured moderate target volume and steady growth before his breakout. Bout, with fewer opportunities, has demonstrated efficiency and flashes that hint at a similar trajectory. If that pattern holds, the Patriots might already possess a cost-controlled deep threat ready to ascend. Financially, the contrast is striking. Bout remains on a rookie contract that accounts for only a small portion of the salary cap. That affordability creates room to strengthen other areas of the roster, whether along the offensive line, in the secondary, or by adding a veteran pass catcher with a more diversified skill set. Allocating roughly $80 million over 4 years to Pierce would signal a major commitment. It would also likely require difficult decisions elsewhere, potentially including the release or restructuring of existing veterans to create the necessary space. The broader objective should be balance. A successful offense thrives on complementary pieces that maximize each other's strengths. If the Patriots decide that what they truly lack is a possession-dominant receiver capable of commanding double-digit targets weekly, then investing heavily in a vertical specialist may not fully address that void. There is a difference between adding speed and adding control. Control comes from a player who consistently moves the chains on third down, wins in traffic, and becomes the quarterback's security blanket when plays break down. Free agency often tempts teams into bold moves driven by urgency. The Patriots must resist making a splash simply to satisfy outside expectations. Strategic aggression is valuable, but only when it aligns with a long-term blueprint. If the front office believes Pierce's growth curve is still climbing and that his skill set can unlock the offense in ways not yet seen, then pursuing him makes sense. However, if internal evaluations suggest that similar production can be achieved from within, prudence may prevail. Meanwhile, there are other roster decisions quietly unfolding. Several Patriots players are set to become unrestricted free agents, and their futures remain uncertain. Defensive contributors and depth pieces will test the market, and some level of turnover appears inevitable. Each departure creates both risk and opportunity. Re-signing key contributors ensures continuity, but allowing certain contracts to expire can open the door for younger talent to emerge. This transition period could define the team's direction for the next several seasons. As Monday approaches, anticipation builds across the league. Negotiations will accelerate quickly once communication is officially permitted. Agents will field calls, front offices will calculate offers, and within hours agreements can materialize. For the Patriots, clarity must guide every decision. The temptation to correct past draft missteps should not overshadow present realities. This is about constructing a roster capable of sustained success, not simply revisiting history. The coming days will reveal whether Alec Pierce becomes part of that vision or remains a footnote in a larger strategy. What is certain is that the Patriots cannot afford hesitation rooted in doubt. If they choose to act, it must be with conviction. If they decide to stand firm and trust their internal development, that confidence must be equally strong. The margin between progress and stagnation in this league is razor thin, and the choices made at the opening of free agency often echo far beyond a single season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A quiet murmur is starting to grow louder around the league, and it centers on one of the most imposing figures in professional football. Words circulating among executives and insiders suggest that Trent Williams could unexpectedly emerge as a target for the New England Patriots, a move that would instantly reshape the balance of power in the NFL. Nothing is confirmed, and no official talks have been acknowledged, but the mere possibility has already ignited debate across front offices and locker rooms. Williams has long been viewed as a cornerstone wherever he lines up, a rare offensive tackle capable of neutralizing elite pass rushers while setting a physical tone in the run game. The Patriots, meanwhile, are widely believed to be exploring ways to redefine their offensive identity after a stretch marked by inconsistency and transition. Bringing in a veteran of Williams' caliber would signal an aggressive shift in philosophy, prioritizing protection, toughness, and stability up front. Sources close to the situation speculate that New England sees Williams not just as an upgrade, but as a catalyst. An elite left tackle can elevate an entire offense, buying time for quarterbacks, opening lanes for running backs, and instilling confidence that spreads through the huddle. For a franchise known for calculated moves rather than splashy headlines, even flirting with this idea suggests a willingness to break from tradition in pursuit of immediate impact. On the other side, the San Francisco 49ers are believed to value Williams enormously, making any potential shift complicated and delicate. Yet in a league defined by constant evolution, untouchable pieces sometimes become movable when visions change or opportunities arise. For now, this remains firmly in rumor territory, the kind of speculation that thrives in whispered conversations and late-night phone calls. Still, if the Patriots truly set their sights on Trent Williams, the ripple effects could be massive, altering offensive strategies and expectations across the league before a single snap is taken. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.